Hey gang, Scott here. In this video, I'm continuing talking about HDR editing in Lightroom. This is not HDR blending, not HDR merging, true HDR display editing, where you have an HDR capable display where you can see those highlights beyond the normal SDR range, the +1, +2, +3 stops of light. And I want to talk about curves and luminosity masks in this video. But really quick, you make sure you're watching this on an HDR capable display. I'm showing you two photos here now. If you do not see a difference between the two photos, you're not watching this on an HDR capable screen. So find yourself an HDR capable screen, and chances are your smartphone is a good bet. Most modern smartphones have an HDR capable screen, and you can see the differences in this tutorial here. So with that, let's talk about what differences does the HDR mode bring when you're looking at curves, when you're looking at luminosity masks, and what stuff is the same. So for this photo here, we can see that I have turned on the HDR mode, and I've chosen a black and white photo to go through this with curves and luminosity masks, because curves and luminosity masks, short of the color, curves, yellow, green, blue, we're dealing with tones. We're dealing with brightness tones and shadow tones. And so that's just easiest to see with a black and white image. So in my previous video, I explained what happens to the histogram when you get into this HDR mode and you've got more data. There's more things going on in your histogram. Everything that we used to have is over here in the SDR range, and then HDR opens up these additional panels. When we look at the tone curve, and let me do this. Let me turn off solo mode for a moment here so we can see both of these panels. When I turn off HDR mode, our curve looks traditional, right? I've got my SDR curve, I've got my SDR histogram. When I turn on HDR mode, and now I can get rid of this basic panel, the curve splits the same way as the histogram. We have an SDR side and we have an HDR side. And beyond that visual change, that's really the fundamental thing that changes with curves. Just like the histogram is showing you more data, you've got more tonal range to work with. The curve lets you also work with that same tonal range. For this example, let me just reset the curve. It had a very slight adjustment on it. When you first open up the curve, and I'm using the point curve here, in an HDR enabled photo, you have the SDR side, you have the HDR side, and Lightroom leaves a single point at really the kind of the nexus between SDR and HDR. Why it does that, I'm not sure. In parametric, it doesn't do anything. It's just like parametric. I just work with like I normally would with the sliders, and I can adjust all of my arrows. I got different videos about curves and all that kind of stuff that explain how general curves work. But when you're working in HDR, what I pay attention to is, let's talk about these like quadrants here, where I've got, here's the boundary between SDR on the left and HDR on the right. And then this first quadrant here, that's one stop of light. Second is from 1 to 2 stops of light, from 2 to 3 stops of light, and then finally from 3 to 4 stops of light. It matches the histogram, right? And so in this photo, we taper off just before, say, a second stop of light, and that's where our curve data tapers off, just before the edge of that second stop of light. But from here, everything else works the same. Now, I tend to like to take my SD, this point that the point curve leaves, I like to take that and kind of push it out to the edge of about where the curve ends. And I'm eyeballing it here. I usually get it close, and then, okay, I chose 369. I'll just type that in as well. I just want a flat curve, but I'm kind of marking my white point, right? The edge of the curve. In the SDR curve, that would normally be way up at the top. Yeah, I could set another point up there, but I don't have any data out here to really protect. It doesn't really help me. So I tend to do that because I want to work with from here on downward. This is where the data is in my photo, and this is where things are interesting. And After that, curves work the same way. I usually use the point curve. It's like I would want to protect that shadow detail there. I definitely want to have the deep shadow, nothing going on. Maybe for these extra brights, like right here on this snow cap, if I click one point there, and then something as a control, maybe around the middle. And I want to now take this point, and I'm going to use the shift key and just raise or lower. And I'm just getting like that, just that little bit of extra accent on the highlights. And you'll notice this part of the curve kind of gets kind of wild and goes way off to the right. And if I push this up really far, you can see it really tapers off. But in this photo, it doesn't matter. There's no data out here. There's no tones that are being affected. So it's less of a concern. And if the photo started to look strange, well, fine. I can grab points and I can straighten that out and make things normal again. But the curve is working the same way as it does with your SDR photos. You just have more information to work with. Now, what about luminosity ranges? Right? We think about luminosity as, we had shadows, low midtones, upper midtones, highlights. The same paradigm holds true. Just again, you're on a broader range of tones. So let's go and do a token luminosity range. I've got a bunch of them in here, but let's grab a luminance range, and let's just say I was going to do something with maybe the snow that's out here. Okay, so I've just grabbed something, and the main thing to really note is, well, nothing's really changed, right? Because the way the luminance range works, it's not from, it doesn't split into SDR versus HDR. It's just on a spectrum of 0 for shadows and 100 for your brightest areas. And that's it, right? In this case, 100 has been effectively redefined to maybe this point right here on my histogram. That's my brightest area. So my super bright tones are going to be, limited to this HDR arena. When I start to drift down into what I would traditionally call my upper midtones and my midtones, that might be where I'm crossing into the SDR boundary. But when you're editing, it doesn't really matter. Just edit visually. When you edit, it's not about exactly I got this particular, tiny sliver of tones. It's I have these things that I've effectively selected in the photo. What do I want to do with them? And I could brighten those a little bit, make those sing a little bit more, make those stand out a little bit more. And the luminance range is working the same way. And so, before that little tiny change, after, just giving those highlights a little extra juice. Could do something similar. Let's go ahead and do one more just for fun. Luminance range, maybe this time in like the more shadowy areas here. And you'll notice I'm tapering off. It kind of got my low midtones there. I'm probably well within the SDR range at this point, but maybe I don't even want to affect my deepest shadows. You notice it's retreating away from the rock on the left-hand side that's peeking through the snow caps there. And here I can say, maybe I want to take the blacks down a little bit, just really kind of give it a deeper shadow there before and after. These are our subtle touches. We're basically doing dodge and burn at this point. But the key takeaway is with the luminance range in HDR, works the same way. Curves fundamentally works the same way. It's just you can see the tones more clearly because the histogram in that curve area extends to give you 4 extra segments, columns, each one representing an additional stop of light. Hope you found the video useful. You got questions, you can go ahead and drop them below. And until next time, my name's Scott Davenport. Have fun.